Guys, oh my god. Oh, shit. What the f? Guys, I thought I would come on here and talk about this huge controversy that is happening in the realm of the witch TikTok, which I'm not a very big part of witch talk, but I have seen a couple of videos and I'm not against it by any means, but I do think that there is a sense of like it's being so easily accessible that I think it's easy for some people to not know exactly what they're getting into or not be fully prepared educational wise before they do stuff, and then they do stupid shit. So happy to be here. I was honestly baffled when I read about this, and I had so many people who I'm like the only witch they know or one of the only ones, and they're like, hey, what does this mean? What the fuck are they doing? Why are people hexing the moon? I don't know, guys. I'm gonna be real with you. It's stupid. It's so dumb. And I wanted to read about it with you guys while I talk about it. I saw this first in my witch group I'm in on Facebook, and someone was like, hey, like, had a bad night's sleep or whatever. And a bunch of people were like, yeah, these fucking baby witches hexed the moon last night. And I was like, I'm sorry. Sorry, what? What? Because, frankly, you can't do that. Like, it's not something you can do. You can't hex an energy point. And, like, I don't know how much you know about witchcraft, because I don't know, obviously. There's a ton of different people watching this. So I'm sorry if you already know this, but witches believe that you can use nature and use their properties to help you achieve your results, okay? So you use the moon, the phases of the moon, to work with, like, whatever you're trying to work with. For example, today we're having the new moon, and so it's believed that the moon affects water, and humans are 60% water, and so it affects us. So new moon is like beginnings and such and whatnot. So it's believed that the sun, the moon, the planets, and a ton of other things, the nature, all the elements, can be like energy points, and we can use those for our advantages and to achieve results in the things that we're doing. So if you are a witch that hexes people, you just can't hex the moon. That's like trying, this is a horrible like example, but it's like trying to light fire on fire. Like, it just doesn't, it's just not logical. You can't do that. You can't hex a planet or a moon. You can't. It just doesn't work that way. So I'm just like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So, let's just go into this article. This is a BuzzFeed article, so I'm sorry to everybody watching this. Oh, okay. Here we go. The rumor, which started circulating on WitchTok, the community of witches on TikTok, is that these baby witches first hexed the fae, which, guys, if you are a witch, if you self-identify as a witch, regardless of your religion, regardless of if you believe in the fae, you know about the fae, okay? That's just how it works. If you've done any research at all into witchcraft, you know about the fae. And to all my witches out there, I know that when you guys heard that these baby witches tried to hex the fae, you were like, y'all are fucking dumb. Like, and I don't mean that rudely. If there is like one like type of like spiritual being that you don't hex, it's the fae, dude. Because like literally, regardless of if you believe in the fae or not, whatever your witchcraft beliefs are, just the even thought that they might exist, they are terrifying. They don't abide by rules. Okay, I heard a spooky noise, guys. I'm gonna check. Where's my knife? I'm gonna check. I'll be back. It was honestly probably the fae, mad that I was talking shit on them. guys, they're like so mischievous, and like they're the reason that you misplace things. I'm not like here to tell you what's real and what's not, you know, but for those who believe in the Fae, they believe that the Fae is like, they're very mischievous. They don't abide by morals. They just have their own like code of being, and they can really mess with you. And like, for real, like, they can really mess with you. So it's just ridiculous that they would mess with him, because to even work with the Fae respectfully, you have to be so practiced in that art form and so prepared, because even if you go in there respectfully with like gifts and offerings and shit, they can still be like, hey, fuck you, we don't like you, get out. They don't give a shit. They don't. So like, the fact that people are trying to hex them, I'm genuinely like laughing, because I'm like, that's just so idiotic. That's so stupid. If you're that dumb that you're gonna try to hex things and you don't know what you're doing, then I'm not like, I don't feel that bad that you're gonna get like actually duked, dude. So yeah, this says the moon, like the Fae, is very important to witches. Its power is used in witchcraft, and in particular represents the divine feminine. So yeah, the moon is like your mom. If you're a witch, the moon is like your mom. And like, you just don't do that. But like, oh, okay, so then hexing these things is not something that's done. They were trying to prove a point. Oh, what? Wait, what the fuck were they trying to prove? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I don't know, because that's one thing. They don't, like, no one knows why these people, and from what I've read, it's only 4 like witches in this little coven. It's not like all of WitchTok, so I'm not hating on WitchTok or anything. And like, I saw this one article that's like, why witches are hexing the moon now? And it's like, no, we don't want this. We're not for this. Like, don't include all of this in this, because that's not true. But yeah, that's ridiculous. So there's this TikTok user by the name of @HeyAdora who made a thread, and they say a group of fresh baby witches, which is obvious, because you're just dumb. You don't know what you're doing, and like, no real witch would like try to hex the moon. Like, that's one of your greatest energy sources. Like, you wouldn't do that. Like, that's just not anything about, that just doesn't make sense. And so it says now they're planning on hexing the sun too, which is so hilarious. It's just like, what are you doing? What? And I fear that they're just trying to get attention out of this, and it's working. And that's like one of the reasons I didn't want to make this video, because I was like, I don't want to just like give them attention and be like, look how stupid they are, if that's what they want to hear. But I mean, y'all are dumb. And whether or not they're real witches and they believe in the power of the moon or not, like, it's gonna come back to them. Like, they're not getting away with this. Like, this is not, and I'm not saying that people are gonna hex them or anything, but no, like, the energy, I'm a big believer in the threefold rule, and that whatever you put out comes back to you 3 times. So if you're trying to hex the moon, like, that energy is just gonna ricochet back to you. Like, you're just, it's not cool. Oh, this is good. What's a hex? I didn't explain that. So, I mean, they explained it. A hex is essentially spell work that is a collection of negative energy and is directed to someone, something, or a group. These are intended to have negative effects and cause harm to them in their lives, which is true. Some witches do hex, some witches don't. But yeah, they're from TikTok. And then they explain the Fae, Celtic fair folk. But yeah, then they go on to say that because they're not human, they don't abide by human morals. And yeah, but when they're fucked with, whoo baby, you've now got trickery for the rest of your life. Maybe a bloodline curse. Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, you don't, anyone who's like researched witchcraft knows about the Fae, and they know that it's not just like, I don't know what to compare it to. It's not something you can just easily like mess with or something. But then the moon, she goes on, which is just like, yeah, why does this matter? Well, for witches, the moon is integral to her work. Most notably, it fuels spells and provides power. Obviously, you shouldn't disrespect the moon. But this is a really good point that she makes that I was wanting to get to next. There are gods, there are gods and goddesses associated with each planet, the moon, everything really. And so when you hex the moon, the energy is just gonna send as like a disrespectful force to these gods or goddesses, and however way you view them. Some people view gods and goddesses as just like a way to personify these physical things. Regardless of how you view it, disrespectful as hell. And I'm trying to think, I'm thinking it's Apollo. I am not super well versed in Apollo and Artemis, but one of them, get ready for it, is for healing and medicine, and we're in a pandemic, and so you just pissed off the god of healing and medicine? Just for funsies? Just for funsies. Just while the world is falling apart. Due to a pandemic, you hex the god of medicine. Like, I'm laughing because I've reached the point in 2020 where nothing matters. Like, I am just so, like, nothing could shock me anymore. Literally, nothing can shock me anymore. I'm not laughing because I think this is a funny thing that they did. I think it's ridiculous and so, just ignorant. And first of all, I really don't feel like these are real witches. I feel like this is a group of people who saw WitchTok and thought it's super aesthetic and cool, because that's a huge thing happening right now. And I'm all for WitchTok. I'm all for, you know, like, normalizing this, because it's a super cool, like, spiritual pathway. It's not scary, and I think the more we talk about it, the more people realize that. But also, on the negative side, it leads people, first of all, some people think it's just kind of aesthetic. It's kind of cool. It's kind of like hip right now to like be a witch and whatever, and they don't understand what comes with it, and they don't understand, I don't know, like, it's not just like a fad, like, it's not a trend. But then there are people who just jump into it and they just think, oh, well, I can just start doing hexing spells and, you know, shadow work, like, on my first week. Like, no, you're gonna die, dude. You should stop. You should really be respectful of it. And, you know, like, when I first started, I just read every book I could find. And I am still reading every book I can find, and I'm still going so slow in my spell work because I don't want to do anything wrong. I would like to be as knowledgeable as I can before I start just, like, fucking throwing shit in the cauldron and, like, experimenting. So, yeah. Apollo, okay, so yeah, Apollo is the god of health and medicine. So Apollo's twins with Artemis, and Artemis is the goddess of the moon. But also, there are a lot of goddesses of the moon. Like, where's my book? There's a number of them. I have my bookshelf right here. This is a great book if you wish to learn about gods and goddesses. It's called Legendary Ladies. It's really pretty. It's a great illustrated book. But one thing that it does that I really enjoy is that it has gods and or it's actually just goddesses. It has goddesses from many different cultures, which I really like that there's representation. And one thing that you'll see through this book is you'll see that, like, there are a lot of goddesses of the moon. We got her right there. But there's a lot of them, and a lot of times different cultures will have different names and different goddesses for, like, the same thing. So in theory, there is a lot of goddesses of the moon. That's just something that should be noted, I think. Artemis is one of them, but she's a very, like, I think a lot of witches are interested in her. So this is what will happen to the hexers. Yeah, it's gonna come back to them. Or a curse. So, no, it's gonna come back to them. Like, it's, I don't know, I think people who even don't necessarily believe in the law of three still understand that if you do something with bad intention, it's gonna come back. I don't know. Maybe that's just the rule of three. Yeah, this is a really good thread, and she also, I Actually, I don't know their pronouns. I should just say they. They also link a lot of good petitions and things, but I think they make a good point. How will this affect you? It's not going to affect you unless you are one of the people that hexed him. I think it's so ridiculous because I really feel like we're about to get to a place astrologically and like energetically that we're all going to start to get better, because I know a lot of us have been feeling super drained energetically and very depressive, and so I feel like we're going to get better. But this kind of pisses me off because this is really throwing like the spiritual beings all awry. So yeah, this is the thing that it's so annoying because this didn't do anything. And the fact that you think you can hex a moon, you're just being dumb. Like, and I don't mean to be rude, guys, but like, you're just being dumb. Like, it's just stupid. Like, for real, like, all you're doing is pissing off like spiritual entities. That's all you're doing. You're not actually accomplishing anything. And that's why I think they're doing this for clout. I don't know who this is though, because like, no names are out, but they said one of the people claiming to hex the moon has been found. They don't seem to be involved with the Fae hexing. They are not 17, they're not a baby witch, they have more experience, and they're making a couple of other harmful claims. So that's super vague. So yeah, it's vague. I don't know. It's basically just a bunch of dumb, I don't believe that those are experienced witches. I really don't. I know they're saying that they are. I just don't believe it. I don't feel, all you're doing is wasting your energy. If you genuinely are trying to hex the moon, you're just wasting your energy. This is Evening Standard. This is a UK type of publication. This is funny. I handle things in memes, so I like that. Yeah, no, this is just people being dumb. I genuinely don't think there's anything to worry about if you're someone who doesn't know a whole lot about witchcraft and you're like, well, are we gonna die? No, you're fine, you're fine. You're not gonna die. It's just like dumb. It just doesn't make sense, so. Don't be an idiot. Don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid. Stupid? This is not a joke. You're a joke.
Thanks, Phil. It's just like, it's just people being dumb. It's just dumb people being dumb. And there's nothing you can do about that, so just keep doing you guys. Keep vibing. Stay strong. Yeah. I hope this was interesting, even if you guys aren't a witch. Getting in on the witch gossip and seeing what's new. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. Hopefully they leave the planets alone and the sun and the moon and nature. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Have a great whatever day this is, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.